If you enjoy the Low Scale Gaming podcast, please leave us a like, review, and subscribe. Any feedback is welcomed, and I hope you enjoy the show. Hello, and welcome back to the Low Scale Gaming podcast. I'm your host, Ghostland's Finest, and as always, I'm joined by Conan Jones and Inferior Mage. Conan, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right. I'm glad it's the weekend finally. This week has been crazy.
It feels like every day's the weekend now for me. Like,
Jealous.
I've lost, I've legitimately lost count track of days.
Everything's
Like,
just blurred together.
yes, like last week I had to do that thing for my school. That was my fail of the week. And then Monday, or the day that I thought was Monday, I forgot or I didn't realize it was Monday. I don't know what happened. But anyways, I forgot to go get my brother's work from school. So then he got a day late. But it is what it is.
You should move your calendar app to the front page of your phone on your iPad and
It is. That's the thing. I just don't care. Like, I don't know. I don't. Okay, so since all my kids basically just told me we're gonna take the grade we want or take the grade we have now, I have nothing to do. Like, and I'm getting paid like have nothing to do like this, but I mean, I'm still getting paid.
are you allowed to go to the school at all?
No,
Fair enough. Yeah, because at that point you're just like, uh, there's nothing for me to do. Yeah, if none of your kids want to change their stuff, then what can you do?
to be fair, all my band kids do have A's, and nobody from my computer class has said anything to me. So
If you
there's
have
that.
anything less than an A in band, you have bigger problems.
That's true. One of my kids was writing a B though for a little bit. Or no, it was a C because he was being dumb. But
I'll never
Mage, how are
understand
you
that.
doing today?
Doing pretty good. Nice weekend.
That's good to hear. I am just extremely tired. I just woke up probably we're recording this at 11 today. I woke up 12 minutes ago cuz
Living.
okay, so I told y'all last week that I was going to play Final Fantasy this week and try to beat it by the time we got to our next podcast recording. I did not expect the game to be that long. It took me to do uh to do as much as I did. I tried to get like 100% through the first time playing. So I did all the side quests. I tried finding all the weapons without, and I did all this without like looking up a guide or anything like that. So I did. I got all the I got like I think I got like 54 or 56% of the trophies done without a guide. So I'm pretty happy with that. Uh, this the stupidest thing was just the mini games, but it's typical fashion. Mini games are annoying as hell. But it took me a long time to beat. I did not expect the game to be as long as it was. So I just kind of, instead of sitting there and playing it like in one time setting like I usually do, is I was just spacing it out and trying to be a responsible adult gamer and just spend a couple hours here, a couple hours there. Well, Wednesday hit and I was 20 hours into the game and I was like nowhere close to finishing it. And I was just like, we record on Saturday. I need to like finish this soon. I want to give it a proper review. So that it just spent with me like sitting here and playing it like 8 hours at a time on Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday. Saturday I had two chapters left to play, and I I think I started at like after dinner at 6, and I didn't stop until about 3 o'clock I think in the morning. but I
Goodness
finished it.
gracious.
And like I was trying, like I said, I was trying to be a responsible gamer and just playing a couple hours at a time. But man, it blew me away. I'll get more into it. Like our podcast today is just me talking about it, but I'll get more into it here in a little bit. But let's go ahead for right now and jump into our fails of the week. Conan Jones, what is your fail of the week?
So yesterday I had a case that was rolling backlog, which is after 60 days it goes backlog because we're supposed to have stuff in and out by then. Um,
Yeah.
so it just kind of got away from me, and I was waiting. I tried to close it out beginning of the week, and I got back into it and realized that I had never received medical records from this particular doctor after I had mailed stuff out back, beginning of March, and I just thought I had it, never followed up with it. So I'm trying to close it out, realize I don't have it, kind of freak out for a second, be like, crap, I've got to get this figured out and get these records. And I send a new request and call the hospital or the doctor's office and say, hey, I need this. And they're closed like 2 or 3 days a week, and they're out for like an hour and a half to 2 hours for lunch. And then the receptionist who's there doesn't work records, so she doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't have access to the facts, blah, blah, blah. So I finally get a hold of him on Friday. And she says, I'll have it done by the time we get out of lunch. So I had to drive 45 minutes from the office to go get these records because she was going to have to put them in the mail. And I was like, I don't have time for you to put it in the mail. I'm just going to come pick them up. So I get them, get back to the office, scan them in, submit the case. Cool. Supervisor's reading over it. She said, hey, does your kid have asthma? And I was like, no one's ever told me if kid has asthma or not. Kid didn't tell me he had asthma. Mom didn't tell me he had asthma. Brother didn't say he had asthma. Nobody's ever said anything. And if a kid has asthma for DHS investigations, it's like this whole other deal that you have to go through, and you have to staff with like the child welfare nurse and all these different people and different things you have to do. So it's not a quick process if the kid has asthma. So my supervisor has to staff with our district director, which is like the boss of the building pretty much. And they look through the old referrals and stuff for this family, and nowhere in it did anything ever say anything about the kid having asthma. So I kind of dodged a bullet because it was never documented and nobody's ever said anything about it. But I still have to go back out and like readdress all of that now that it's found out. And it's stupid.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Mage, what is your fail this week?
I don't really have one. It's been a pretty decent week.
Must be nice.
Yeah, right. I mean, I got work that I still need to do, but it's not like I'm drowning in it. So, there you go.
All right. Well, my fail this week is two things that all happened yesterday. So one, my dog Vader, he ate our leftovers on the stove, just like hopped up and just went to town eating it. And we had jambalaya last night, and I seasoned the smoked sausage or whatever with onion powder on it. So I like freaked out because onion powder is poisonous to dogs and everything.
Really?
Well, yeah, onions are like deathly poisonous to dogs, and like any part of onion is including the powder.
Hmm.
So after about 5 minutes of freaking out, and Vader runs outside and throws up. So I'm just like, good. You need to get that out of your system.
Yeah.
Because one, it was kind of spicy, so it just upset his stomach. But it was okay. Cause I mean, he's okay. He freaked me out just because of that. But I mean, like, since he threw it up, he's okay.
Yeah, got it out of his system.
Before like anything could like break down or anything like that. And then he tried eating it again, but then I had to pull him back in, and then we sprayed it away with the hose.
Trying to eat his throw up? Gross.
Yeah.
Dogs are
Vader.
gross, man.
Yeah. My other one though is again involving Vader. So we've been trying to do this thing where he like sleeps with us now instead of keeping him in the. He's been being better about like going to the bathroom in the house and everything. So we've been letting him like sleep in the bed with us to go to bed. Like he'll stay in my brother's room or he'll stay in my room. Just we pick and choose. It doesn't really matter. It's pretty much wherever he wants to go. Um, but the night before last, he stayed with my brother, and then when I woke up, he had chewed up my brother's glasses again, and he hasn't done this in like since he was a like baby, like two or 3 months ago. So it's not like it's an everyday thing, but still, it's just like sucks, and it's really bad too this time. And like he broke the frame, and there's no eye doctor or there's no glasses stores open because of this stupid Corona stuff.
Well,
Even though
actually, I think
even
he.
though Oklahoma's opening back, I looked like everything around here is temporarily closed. Like iMasters Express or whatever, it's temporarily closed. So I'm trying. I mean, it's working right now. I got it taped on there. I'm just doing the best I can with it.
How bad did he chew it up?
Uh, he broke the frame on the right side of the glasses. So the lens pops out, and I have to have it taped up.
Your brother has the worst luck with glasses, like for real.
I mean, he's 9.
Which is true.
I mean, I plan on getting him new glasses here and like once all this stuff's over with, anyways, because like our yearly doctor's or our year, I was gonna do it over the summer anyway. So I mean,
They just
it's
kind of get.
okay.
It's technically summer right now, so I mean, whatever.
Yeah. So I mean, it is what it is.
Well,
Anyways,
hopefully they can make it through.
hopefully so. All right, so let's talk about. Oh, one thing I do want to talk about. Did you see this this stuff? Yeah, I think it came out about 2 or 3 days ago about friend of the show Donald Trump saying to inject disinfectant into your system to kill corona.
I was watching the video, and he's like, well, UV light can cure it. We can somehow inject that into our bodies. About UV light too.
So wait a
Oh Lord,
second.
that video was so
I'm
funny.
dead serious. Like I'm not memeing. This is like a serious thing that happened.
Yeah,
So then
just look it up on
states,
YouTube.
so then like states and like companies had to issue out warnings against injecting like or insecting disinfectant into your system.
Yeah, like
That could
Lysol, and
kill
then like
you.
tell people not to drink Lysol or whatever. So funny.
Like I'm not memeing. This is legitimate.
We're living in some sort of dystopian, like, what was that movie? Um,
Uh oh, the
Idiocracy?
word idiocracy.
Yeah.
Yes. Whenever they try to light the, or whenever they try to grow grass with Gatorade or whatever, because it has electrolytes.
Yeah. I saw a thing that somebody had photoshopped a Trump tweet saying something like that. So we should just feed the crops with Gatorade because it has more electrolytes. And I was like, that sounds like something he would say. I didn't realize that was a quote from Idiocracy.
Terry Crews is going to be the president now.
Yeah.
Have you ever actually seen Idiocracy?
Yeah, it's been a long time. It was one of those
It
that
was
used to run all the time on TV when I was growing up.
on Comedy Central. Yeah, like it's actually really funny. Like I actually really enjoyed it. But
I saw it a long time ago, but I thought it was kind of stupid. But
yes, that's the
that's just
point.
me.
Yeah,
I know, but I don't particularly find really stupid humor funny.
So you don't like The Office?
Mage's highbrow.
Not really.
Wow. I'm learning things about Major Day that I didn't want to learn.
See, the Office is kind of hit and miss for me.
Really?
Also, like
Yeah,
I don't
I
dislike
feel
it,
kind of the same way.
but it's like I don't. My panties aren't all wet like other people's are for the show.
Like The Office is like probably like top 5 shows I've watched.
I think Parks and Rec is funnier.
See, I didn't like Parks and Recs. It was just so just like I didn't care for it, you know?
Right
So,
now, my comedy show that I watch is Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
That was
Brooklyn Nine-Nine's a
super
good one.
funny. That's so good.
Cheddar
Yeah, that's a
died.
really good one. Look, don't be rude spoiling things for me. I haven't caught up yet.
No,
I know
it's
it's
like the dog in real life.
oh,
Oh,
This
that's
was a while
sad.
back. Yeah, there was a big deal that they had to replace him in the show.
Well, the dog that they replaced him with looks exactly like Cheddar. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, I'm not sure how far into the taping of the show all of that happened, but I remember seeing that as we were watching it and being sad.
the dog of Holtz's dog or whatever.
Yeah, the captain's dad or dog.
Yeah. Oh, I like him. He's pretty funny.
It's a good character.
It's a good serious character that tries to be funny. My favorite thing about that is whenever he sprains his wrist or something, and he does it from hula hooping or something like that, and he tells Travolta about it, and or Peralta, not Travolta, sorry, uh, and he's like, "Why are you telling me this? Because nobody will believe you," and then deletes it all. Like, damn, that's Disney villain evil right there.
See, I don't guess I even remember it well enough to know what you're talking about.
I like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I just haven't watched the newest season yet, just because I have a Prethla of stuff to watch.
A
Okay,
what?
a Prethla, a whole bunch of stuff to
A
watch.
A
plethora.
plethora?
That's what I said.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was.
No, it was not even close.
Yes, it was.
This is
Alright.
recorded, so now we know.
Um,
I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it. That's what I'm gonna name the title of the podcast. I'm gonna put it up here to the time. We're at about 7.
What did he even say?
It was like 1710 plethora mess up.
shut up. I'm still waking up. Anyways, but yeah. All right, let's talk about Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yes, let's.
Let me tell you first off that I thought this game was going to be 15 hours. So to give backstory of it, the first part of the game, or the first, I guess what I don't know how many parts they're making this game. I hope it's just 2 or 3. If they try to make this into 4, I'm pretty upset. Anyways, but the first part of the game from the original game is only like maybe 5 to 6 hours long. So they expanded upon that to make it almost a 40-hour plus game. And I was really skeptical at first of how they were going to expand it, but they made it really good. It's I did not like Final Fantasy VII before, but now I'm actually a pretty big fan of it. Uh so you start out you Cloud, whatever, Cloud Strife, the edgy ex-soldier member, whatever, and you're going to go bomb the Mako factory to with Avalanche. Anyways, I'm not going to go into like a full like uh chapter by chapter thing because we'll be here for longer than an hour. But I will say that the game is surprisingly good. It is really linear, where it kind of just puts you down a hallway and you just go forward. There's no really like world exploration, but that's by design because there's no open world in the big city of Midgar. And I forgive the game for that because the combat's really fun and it's really complicated, especially like when you get further into the game and the more difficult it gets down the road, it gets really complicated to like boost up like to boost up the right party members to to um to do what you need to do to like stagger the enemies so you can do more damage to it, and then to do the right things to stagger or to boost the stagger up to do more damage. Well, then it's overall just it's the combat system is pretty much like I want to say it's like Final Fantasy 15's and like Kingdom Hearts 3's combat system, but better and more options to do stuff. And also you could control all your party members. Like they actually feel like peop like playable characters other than just like, oh hey, you know, Donald Goofy's here too and Donald's casting thunder while I'm dying.
And then tells you there's a recipe ingredient nearby.
Yeah. Like it feels like there's more than just one character to play. And it's awesome. You got Cloud who fights with a sword. Okay, it fights with that big old sword. It's pretty cool though. You have Tifa, the who everybody loves and everybody's first crush for obvious reasons that I'm not going to get into. Um, who fights with her fists but does a darn good job with it. You got Barrett, the grizzled tough dude that he's really tanky, but he also fights with on his and he just wrecks house with it. And then you have Aerith, who this is the biggest change of it. Aerith in the previous games, she was just a caster. Okay, she didn't really like do much other than just like, oh hey, I'm gonna cast you cast spells with her. Okay, but they transferred. It's still like that, but also her basic attack instead of going off of physical attack goes off of her magic damage. So she does a Aerith does a surprisingly large amount of damage. And whenever you get Aerith, she just like instantly just makes a big difference to how you like proceed the combat. That you have this whole new party member that's primarily casting spells and is just like a power. She's a glass cannon is the best way to put it. So if you like get like enemies that bum rush her, she's gonna die really quick. But if you can sit there and you can she has this one. So every character, and there's 4 characters in there now. Has a different abilities to use, and I think they can get up to like 6 or 7 each. And they're pretty good abilities. Some of them are stupid, but most of them are pretty good. But with Aerith, she's the caster. She can place a ward underneath herself, and then if you cast a spell into that, it'll double cast. So you'll cast say Thundaga on a machine, and you'll hit it for 2,000 damage, and hit it again for another 2,000 damage. It's just take out half of its life right there, health right there. So Aerith makes the game a lot easier to play, but it still feels like she's she's balanced enough to make a good impact on the game. I love the combat system of this whole thing. Like I could spiel about it forever with how good the combat system. Uh, any questions so far?
Most of this is just like a different language to me. Like I recognized the name Cloud. Um,
I'm talking about the combat system though. Like,
uh, it's hard for me
okay,
to even picture anything of what you're saying, just because of like I have no frame of reference for any sort of Final Fantasy anything. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Well, Mage, what about you?
I mean, I know what you're talking about. Sounds like the combat is just like kind of like a like an MMO. Like you can do combos and stuff, and if some characters are really powerful, but if you don't play them right, then they're weak. Kind of a deal.
Yeah.
How long was the game?
Uh, to last night, it took me almost 38 hours to beat it. And that was with doing the side quests and trying to find all the weapons. I missed 4 weapons anyways, which bummed me out, but uh and apparently I missed 2 of them that were really obvious to get, so I feel kind of dumb about that. But it was surprisingly a long game. Like I feel like I got my money's worth. That was the biggest thing I was worried about was not getting my money's worth. And but I feel I thought it was going to be about a 15-hour long game. And if a 15-hour long game is like fun, then yeah, I'll feel like I got my money's worth. But I don't like even like I think at the 15-hour mark I wasn't even in the game yet. And I was just like, wow, this is pretty. I'm thoroughly enjoyed by the game. I'm 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 intrigued by the story and like some of the changes they've done. It's a good game. It's flawed, like everything is flawed. So it's not a perfect 10 out of 10 for me, but it's still up there to get a good score for me. I'll give a score at the end of it. Anyways, I'm gonna talk about the story now and a little bit of the change.
so before your story, how much of a departure from the original is it? Because it's a remake, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yes, it's let's say
Like a spiritual successor more than a full.
no, it's a remake of it. Uh, up until okay, so between chapters 1 and chapter 16, it's probably 90% a remake with some like changes in there, and then there's some things added in there just to like expand upon the story.
To help spice it up some.
Yeah, and then the last 2 chapters is like maybe like 40-50%. Like they changed a whole bunch from the last 2 chapters of the game, and I understand what they did. It's okay. I I I accept the changes of it. Granted, I'm not a Final Fantasy VII purist that was just like, I want this to be a scene for scene remake. I want this to be what my childhood was. Blah 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 blah. That kind of stuff. Okay, I'm not like that at all. I didn't like the original Final Fantasy VII. I'm playing this just because one, to give us something to talk about on the podcast. Two, because I don't have anything better to do because of the quarantine. And three, I thoroughly enjoy Final Fantasy games once I get into it. It's one of my favorite series of games. Anyways, so the beginning it's pretty similar up till like I said up until chapter 16. It expands upon things to make it seem more like yeah that's why that happened or they add they add story into it and it's nice. Uh and then chapter 17 and 18 is just a big cluster of just not not so much randomness, but just that like they completely changed some things. But it's okay. It's okay to change things off of a 20-plus-year-old game. Anyways, to go back to the combat system real quick. There was Y'all are gonna laugh at this. The hardest fight I had in that game was against a house.
A house?
Yes. So it's in chapter 9. You go to the Coliseum and you're fighting in tornadoes, okay? And I'm breezing through this tournament. I'm just like, yeah, I'm tough. Whatever. I'm breezing through this tournament. And they're just like, oh, you have to have a special match right now. I'm just like, okay. What is this special match? So it pulls it up from a platform, and it's a house. I'm dead serious. It's a house. So it's like, okay. And then it just becomes mechanized, starts like spitting out arms and stuff. It's like a turtle, but it was a house to begin with. Anyways, that fight took me 20 minutes to do because I just could not figure out how. It was by far the hardest fight. Like, it was the hardest fight I had.
That is definitely not what I was expecting from this conversation.
I know. Still the hardest fight. Um, Another fight that was pretty hard was on the rooftop of the Sector 7 played against Reno and Rude, the Turks. That was a fun fight. But, yeah, a house was the hardest fight I had.
Well,
Also, the ending boss looks like. Not. Well, never mind. I'll get to that in a second. So back to the story. Like I said, it's very similar from 1 to 16. It's when you get to the Shinra HQ is whenever it starts changing up a lot.
to the what?
But it's Shinra HQ, the headquarters, and the big the big tower in the middle of Midgard, like the very big of it in like the cover art of the game and like every promotion you see.
Shinra is the evil corporation that
Yeah,
runs the world, pretty much.
yeah. The Shinra Electric Company. They're harvesting the lifeblood of the world to make energy for everybody.
And the main characters are eco-terrorists destroying Shinra facilities.
Yeah, they're called Avalanche.
Okay.
They're literally eco-terrorists.
Yeah, they're eco terrorists.
Going some places.
Yeah. Anyways, they changed up quite a bit, and it was really. I still don't know how I feel about it. Cause like it was okay what they did with chapter 17, like the changes they did with that. It was still weird, but the ending just like was really weird. Major, you gonna play this game?
Yeah, I plan on it. I haven't really. I'm waiting on my brother to finish it.
Okay, I'm not gonna go too much in spoilers for it. Then I don't want to ruin it for you. But like I said though, I forgot you were gonna play it too. Now I feel bad about like talking about it and like spoiling it for you.
Basically, all you told me was that I fight a house at one point, which
You do fight a house at one point, and I'm
okay with.
It could be that I was just really stupid and didn't like figure out what to like do against said house, but like that house was just destroying me, and I just couldn't figure out what to do. I didn't lose to it. It was just I was like just whittling it down. Like anyway, I couldn't figure out what to do. Hopefully you can, and you can tell me how dumb I was.
I mean,
But they're also good.
He could tell you that regardless.
It gets to a point though in the game where you get really overpowered, and you just like. I saw a lot of people like complain about like how hard some boss fights were at the end, and they weren't hard to me at all. But it could have been that like I did like every single side quest. I did every single I did everything I could do in the first playthrough to try to get as much of it done as I could. And I did a lot of like training and everything to get there. So it could just be that I built my characters optimally, or not optimally, optimally. Wait,
Yeah, that was right.
okay, I thought I said Optimus the first time around, and I was like, yeah, we're Transformers now. But I built my characters right, and I think I did pretty good. There's a move that Barrett gets after a little bit. It's like chapter. It's in one of the weapons he gets in later in the game, and it's called Maximum Fury, and it's super overpowered because it's basically just him. Got the Gatling gun like on his arm, so it's basically you build up his ATB slide to get 2 stacks, and then he'll just like start literally just going as hitting as hard as he can with his Gatling gun, and it just does a whole bunch of damage real quick. It's really nice. So then it just started. Whenever I'd fight flyer enemies, it would just be me switching to Barrett, building up my ATB to cast Maximum Fury, casting Maximum Fury, and then they die. Easy rinse and repeat. Like once you get the combat system down, it's pretty. You can make it work to your advantage. But at the beginning, it's once you're like figuring it out, it does get kind of complicated. Just like
Does that
also
not
the what?
does that not like kind of ruin the fun of it if that one thing is so overpowered that you could just use that and spam it for most things?
No, because you can't use it for most things. You use it for like I said, I just used it against flyers things. And see, I don't have that problem of using something that's overpowered like that. It doesn't ruin my fun. Like if I've leveled from the game from I think the maximum level is like level 50, and all my characters are level 40 right now. If I've put in the work from leveling from 1 to 40, yeah, I'm okay with being overpowered now and just destroying stuff and using one ability. It doesn't ruin my fun because it's not some because you can't focus just one character well at the beginning, yes, you could just focus one character and just do their things. But later in the game, you got to be switching around and using different characters and using their abilities and stuff like that. You have to. You can't just play one character and hope for the best. So, like I said, the combat system is a better version of Final Fantasy 15's Kingdom Hearts 3, which is really I hope they what they did with the combat system now. I hope to God they don't change it and they keep it just for the same 2 games that they have coming out for it because they they did a good job on it.
Well, I'm glad you have fun with it. Like, so now you have to go back and do the whole thing on hard. You said to get the platinum.
Yes, I got to do that and I got to do some other stuff too. But
Is it
it should take me probably like I'm probably not going to play as much as I have been this week. Probably take me a couple weeks to do it. Just if I sat down and did it, I could probably do probably like 10, 15 hours. But
uh,
because I'll
is
just skip the cutscenes now.
is it a new game plus or is it
Yeah,
just
it's New Game Plus. So the first thing I'm going to do is like go level up. I'll see him 50 and level up my materia and everything. I'll be okay. Like once I get to it, it'll be fine. And especially like after you beat the game, you get you get double the experience and triple the AP to level up your materia. So
so just help you out on that end after you?
yeah, things will get you basically new game the new game plus being on hard mode. You should be level 50 and pretty much all of your materia should be maxed. And there's a lot of materia to use, but everybody has a lot of slots to use too, so it works.
Okay.
Uh, so we'll get to my rating of the game now. I think I've been thinking about this for a little bit, and like I said, it's not a perfect 10. There's there's obvious flaws in the game. It's really linear, but you forgive the linear. I'm fumbling all over my words today. You forgive the linear. God dang it! You
Linear.
linear. You forgive the linearness because the combat system's fun. The story's interesting. You want to keep. You want to see the little changes they do from here and there, and then they just like blindside you with a whole big changes in chapter 17 and 18. I I think I'm giving this game a 9 out of 10. It's not perfect by any means. It's not perfect at all. If it was more, but it's hard to be open world in Midgar. I understand that. It's it's a 9 out of 10 game. It's not perfect. It's not a perfect game. I think the next game will be a perfect game though, because it has to be open world. They literally are look. Anyways, I don't want to do it.
Before
I
you
was about
spoil
to.
it.
Yeah, I stopped myself. Anyways, it's a 9 out of 10 game for me. Mage, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have.
I hope so too.
I will
I
say
never.
though, the mini games were stupid. Like some of them were really fun to play, like Whack a Box or whatever. Whack a Box was fun, and there's another one that was okay. Oh, the motorcycle ones. That was cool. I like the motorcycle fights. Those are fun, but um, the two stupid ones that stick out the most for me is they're both in the gym, and there's the squat one like how it was in Final Fantasy, the original Final Fantasy 7, but there's also a pull up one, and you have to like beat it on the hardest difficulty to get the trophy unlocked. And so stupid sitting there and doing squats and stuff and pull ups. I got it, but it just took forever to do it. That and the house I fought was the two annoying things in this game.
Beautiful.
At least your
All right.
list of annoying is pretty short. Like,
Yeah. And usually I'll come on here and I'll complain about things. I'll complain about my favorite things, but it's been I've enjoyed the game. It was a good $60. It's not like when I played Anthem and wanted my money back. It was a good game.
well, I'm glad you enjoyed it because it sounds like you get to play it again just on hard mode now.
Yeah, like I
So,
still get to do more with the game, and that's nice.
does would someone who would have no affinity for Final Fantasy enjoy this game?
If you like this type of if you like this genre of games where it has a deep story with it. If you like MMOs or like if you like RPG, you should like this game. Especially it's a more action based game now. Um, it's not so much you sit there and wait for your turn and you attack, and now you wait for their turn and attack. It's not that anymore. It's the combat's very fluid. That's the word I was looking for. It's very much you need to move around. You need to dodge roll. It's like you need to block. It's a very action packed combat system, and it's pretty nice. I think so. If you look at it from I'm playing this because uh, I just want something to play, something that's interesting. A lot of people think, yeah, I think people would enjoy it because the game was fun. Now, if you don't like if you don't like RPG games, you don't like sitting there for a long time playing a game, it might not be there for you, and that's okay. Everybody likes something different. I'm just warning you now that some people might not like this kind of game, and that's okay. But it doesn't necessarily make it a bad game. It just makes it a
Not
game
your
for.
game.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's my review of Final Fantasy VII Remake.
All right. Well,
So let's jump into topic 3. What have y'all been playing this week? Yeah, y'all obviously know what I've been playing this week.
yeah. Everybody knows what you've been playing this week.
Yeah.
I tried to play more Just Cause 4, and I would just be doing missions, and it would freeze and black screen, and I would have to reset my computer. And I did it like 3 times in a row, and I said, "Screw this! I'm done with it."
Oh.
And
That's lame. I hate when games do that.
yeah, it's like I would feel worse about it if I paid money for it, but I didn't. So I guess I'm just like, well, maybe this is why this crappy game was free, because it runs like garbage and is not stable. I was trying to say something about stability, but
Everybody's saying things wrong today. Yes. The bill.
I thought you were just parodying the word stability.
yeah.
Stabil.
It's so stable that Kodak could even say,
Oh, somebody else messed up. Ghost got to jump on it now.
no, I did that. I did that on purpose. I was making a joke.
Yeah, that's
Anyway.
what I meant.
Oh, okay. Hey, y'all literally jumped down my throat. I don't want to hear it.
We only said something because you argued with us. So we're like, no, you definitely did. You messed up that word.
All right.
Plethora.
I don't even remember anymore.
Yeah.
What was I saying? I think I said
Because you were trying to say plethora. Yeah.
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 What did I say then? Prethla?
I don't know. I have to go back and listen to it, and I'll text you
I
guys.
swear I said it right, but I guess I didn't.
It was really funny. Anyway, I just been playing some League. I haven't really been playing a whole lot of video games actually this week. I've been actually reading a lot.
Nerd.
What have you been reading?
I read this.
Sorry, I won't be rude like Conan Jones.
Okay.
So, my mom brought home this. She's been reading this like series of kids books because she does that every once in a while. But they're like, it's more like young adult. By the same person that did like the Mortal Instruments. You remember that book series, or you know anything about that book series?
Is that the one they made a really bad movie out of like last year?
Yeah. They made a really bad movie out of it. I think the author's Cassandra Cain. I think that's right.
Yeah.
Well, she wrote this other series of books, and I read those, and they're really fast reads, and they were pretty good. It was a book series of 5, and I've been reading those for a couple of weeks. But I like last Saturday, I literally read the last 2 books of those in succession in one day, and I was like, "Well, dang!" And they're like 250-page books, so they're not like hardcore or anything.
Yeah.
And I had gotten a couple of ebooks from on Kindle, and I've been reading those. So
Well, I'm glad you've been
I've
enjoying it
been
and
reading.
expanding your mind on reading and stuff.
Oh, it's fun. I hadn't. I used to be really into books, and I hadn't really read a whole lot when I was in college,
Yeah.
other than our college textbook stuff that we had to do. So it was nice. It was a good change of pace to just read a whole lot.
Well, that's good. All right, let's go ahead and jump into our wins of the Conan Jones. What is your win of the week?
So kind of let me make sure I get the time put in real fast. Let's close enough. Whenever I found out about the asthma kid from my case from my fail, kind of in the same breath, my supervisor also was like, your closure rate is also like the highest it's been since I started. So that was a good feeling because I've actually like been getting stuff done. So she had a compliment sandwich. It was like I was screwed up the deal with the kid having asthma, kind of, but then it was also just like, you're getting everything else done, and whenever you do have a mistake, you learn from it and don't do it again. So that was nice. That's about it. I've just been working my butt off this week. Like,
Conan Jones, the workhorse.
Good job, Conan Jones.
yeah.
Mage, what is your win of the week?
It was just a good week. I got stuff done that I needed to get done, and didn't get too much grief from anybody, and just had a good week.
That's good. That's good.
Your
My win this week is beating Final Fantasy in time to give it a good review. I didn't think I was gonna do it. I about almost asked last night if we could put back recording another day because I wasn't sure if I would be able to beat it, but I just stuck it out and stayed up all night to beat it.
Yeah, I haven't done that in a long time.
It was pretty nice. One last thing before we give the old outro. I know Oklahoma's opening back up. Yes, Friday or whatever.
That's this
People,
coming week,
please.
right?
It was either last Friday or this coming Friday. I don't know what.
They opened up like hair salons and like small businesses this Friday, and then next Friday they're like going to open up a lot more stuff or something. Is what Governor Stitt said.
People, please stay inside. Please don't go outside just because Oklahoma's opening back. Like, the Spanish flu killed like how many people from the beginning, and then the second outbreak it jumped to like 20 million. Please stay inside. Don't go do stupid things. Please, just if we ride this out together, we're over this a lot quicker. I'm at this point now where I hope we still have school in August. Please stay inside. Please. All right.
Can I share my 2
What?
cents with that?
Go ahead.
I agree with you. And I also know that there's no way in hell that that's going to happen. Because what everybody's, like, with some sense is worried about is what's going to happen. Like, it kind of looks like it's getting better right now. And then everybody's going to go back to doing normal things. And there was, like, a TikTok going around of people doing the Corona challenge and, like, licking toilet seats at Walmart and stuff like that.
I saw that. It's
Oh
stupid.
no!
Yeah.
People are.
But it's going to get worse, and then stuff's going to get put off, and we won't have football in the fall, and everybody will be pissed off, and we're going to have a revolution, and
The world's going to end, and that's going to be 2020, the end of the world.
because someone ate
We're
a
all
bat.
going to die.
But all right. Well, thank you guys very much for listening. You can follow iTunes and Spotify, Low Scale Gaming. If you have a question or a subject you want us to talk about on our next podcast, go ahead and leave us a tweet or email us at lowscalegaming@gmail.com. But thank you guys again. And remember, have a great day and a better tomorrow.